Very good evening, everyone. Very good evening. So, my name is Ashutosh Kumar Singh, and today we are here to discuss about the slave dynasty in Delhi Sultanate, and we are going to discuss the real founder of the Delhi Sultanate, Shamsuddin Iltutamish. So, how are you all? How are you all? If you're watching this video live or even if you're watching it later, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and do share it with your friends. Okay, so perfect. Just give me a minute. Okay, so you know that we have already covered the first Sultan. We have already covered him, right? So we have already covered the first Sultan. His name was Kutubuddin Aibak, right? Kutubuddin Aibak, right? We saw how Kutubuddin Aibak, from slavery, he became a sultan, right? He was slave of. Very good evening, Amit. कैसे हो? Okay, so Qutbuddin Aibak was a slave. He was a slave of Muhammad Ghori, right? And he rose to power. He became Sultan of the Delhi Sultanate, right? But remember, I told you that he is not called the real founder, even though he's called the founder of the Delhi Sultanate. He is not known as the real founder of the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, perfect. So don't forget to like the video. If you like the video, please press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're watching it for the first time, do go through the playlist that I have created, all the playlists that I have created for you. They are wonderful playlist and wonderful videos I have put up so that they are going to help you very much for your examination. So इंग्लिश मीडियम और हिंदी हिंदी के छात्र जितने हैं आप भी जाके वह प्लेलिस्ट देखिए इससे आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा वहाँ पे इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी काफ़ी वीडियोस हिंदी में मैंने आपके लिए डाले हैं ज़्यादातर हिंदी में ही डाले हैं दिस इज द फर्स्ट सीरीज दैट आई हैव पुट अप इन इंग्लिश ओके all right so Qutbuddin Aibak after Qutbuddin Aibak if you remember I told you that in 1210 Qutbuddin Aibak fell from his horse while playing Chaugan and due to a head injury he died within a day or two, right? But remember, he was where? He was located at what place? He was at that time in Lahore, right? And in Lahore, his son, his son, Aram Shah, okay, Aram Shah, he was made the ruler. He was made the next Sultan, okay. So Aram Shah ruled for what? 4 months or 6 months, okay. But what happened? See, Aram Shah has been made the ruler, the second ruler, but he will be deposed within 6 months, and there will be a new ruler, a new Sultan, Iltutamish, who is going to rule. Okay, so after this, Iltutamish is going to be there. All right, and today we are going to study Iltutamish. Okay, today we are going to study Iltutamish. Okay, just give me a minute. All right, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's continue. So today we are going to study about Iltutamish, and there is a lot to study about him. There are a lot of points that we will have to cover about Iltutamish. Okay, so let's start Iltutamish. Let me clear this page. Okay, so let's start with Iltutamish. Okay, Iltutamish is basically the third Sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. He is the third Sultan, and he ruled from 1210 till 1236. Okay, he ruled for this time period. Remember, what does Iltutamish means? Iltutamish, the word itself means protector of the state. Okay, protector of the state. Right, he was the protector of the state. That's the meaning of his name. Okay, now Iltutamish's father was, who was his father? Chalo. These are few factual points that you must be aware about, because whenever you're going to do the answer writing and all those things, at that time you need to be very aware about the facts, because unless until you are not aware about the facts, you will not be able to write the answers. Okay, so his father was Ilam Khan. Okay, Ilam Khan. Okay. Now remember, Iltutamish was very good looking. Okay, Iltutamish was very good looking. He was very handsome person, and he had somewhere around 4 to 5 siblings. Okay. Now what happened is, when Iltutamish was very young, he was a boy. At that time, due to jealousy, you can say his brothers, they sold him in the slave market. While Ilam Khan, his father, was away, they sold him in the market. And from there, in the market, there is a person named Chuskuba. Okay, his name was Muhammad Chuskuba. Okay, now Muhammad Chuskuba, he bought Iltutamish as a slave, and he put him for like sale in the market of Kabul. Right now, over there, there was a visit. Our last Sultan, his name was Kutubuddin Aibak. He visited that place along with Muhammad Gauri, and he was not able to like purchase Iltutamish from the market. So he asked Muhammad Chuskaba, "You come to India, okay? I really want to like buy this slave." Okay, and he was really priced very high into Tamish, because he was very beautiful, right? So Muhammad Chuskaba, he was very handsome, so Muhammad Chuskaba priced him at a higher end, just to earn some extra money, right? So what he did is, Muhammad Chuskaba, he was asked by Kutubuddin Aibak that you get him to Delhi, the Delhi market, and from there I will be able to purchase him, right? So Muhammad Chuskaba bought Iltutamish to Delhi market. Okay, he bought him to Delhi market, and in the Delhi market, from Delhi market, you will see that Kutubuddin Aibak bought him. Okay, Kutubuddin Aibak bought Iltutamish. Now see, Kutubuddin Aibak himself was a slave, right? He himself was a slave of Gori, and he bought Iltutamish. So that's why he is called slave of the slaves. Slave of the slave. Okay, so remember this name. This is one of the name that is given to Iltutamish. So all one-day examination students, you must be aware that he is called a slave of slaves. Okay, this is a direct question that you might be asked in PCS examination, RO examinations, or SSC examination. Who is known as slaves of slaves? Okay, in Hindi it's called गुलामों का गुलाम किसे कहा जाता है, right? So there are chances that such a question can be put up in front of you. Okay. All right. So when I was teaching you about Kutubuddin Aibak, I told you that Kutubuddin Aibak, to deal with three people. One was Kabacha, Kabacha. Second person Yalduz, and third person is himself Ebak. Right. So to deal with Kabacha and Yalduz, Ebak married he married his sister to Kabacha, right? And he himself married Yalduz's daughter, right? So that he can like have some peace in the area and he can control Kabacha and Yalduz so that they don't go ahead and they attack his kingdom. Okay. But at the same time, Ebak also married his daughter to Iltutamish. Okay, and at this time, Iltutamish is near Delhi. Okay, in that region. And what happened? Ebak died. And what happened? Ebak died. Right. So we will see how Kutubuddin Ebak died, and this created a vacuum. This created a vacuum in the position of Sultan. Okay, so we will come back to that. We will come back to that. Let's first see what are the different names. What are the different names of Iltutamish? Okay, so if you want to write down, you can make this chart like this. So I'm writing here Iltutamish. Okay, so first name I have already told you of Iltutamish. He is known as slave of the slaves. Slave of the slaves. Okay, then he is also known as, I told you, the real founder of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, he's known as the real founder of Delhi Sultanate. Then there is a name given to him, that is grandfather of Maqbaras. या फिर the same thing is called in Hindi as मकबरों का पितामह. Okay, so मकबरों का पितामह. Okay, so this is a name given to Iltutamish. Okay, then he was called Sultan Said. Sultan A Said. Okay, and this name was given to him by the Khalifa. By the Khalifa. Okay, he was called Sultan Said. Then he was also called Nasir ul Momin. Nasir ul Momin. Okay, and this name was also given to him by Khalifa. Why Khalifa is giving him the names? We will discuss about it. Why Khalifa is giving names to Kutubuddin? The Iltutamish. Okay, so we'll come through. We'll study about it. We'll read about it in some time. Okay, why Khalifa is giving so many names and why Khalifa is actually interested with Iltutamish. Okay. All right. So these are the different various names by which Iltutamish is known: slave of the slaves, the real founder of Delhi Sultanate, the grandfather of Maqbaras, Maqbaro ka Pitama, Nasirul Momin, and Sultan Said. Okay, by these names and titles, Iltutamish was known. Okay, so all one-day examinations, take a screenshot or write this, make this chart in your notebook, write this down in your notebook. Okay, because any of these names can be put up in your examination and a direct question can be asked to you. Okay, so let's see. There's a very interesting point that is written here. The real founder of Delhi Sultanate. Why he is called the real founder? Okay, so you can see actually Delhi Sultanate has been started by Qutb Uddin Aibak. Okay, but Qutbuddin Aibak is known as the founder of Delhi Sultanate. Founder of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, but Iltutamish, Iltutamish, he is called as the real founder. Now, very interesting question is asked normally in any examination. Why he is known as the real founder of Delhi Sultanate? First thing is, who is known as the real founder of Delhi? Thanks, Mayur. Thank you very much. So, first question is, who is known as the real founder of Delhi? This is a very direct question that is asked in the examinations. But at the same time, there is a question asked that uh, why Iltutamish is known as the real founder, and you will get four different questions, four different options, out of which you have to select the right answer. Okay, and there are many reasons. There are many reasons. So let's go through the reasons. Okay, the reasons. So see, the first reason is uh, the capital of Ebak. Capital of Ebak was Lahore. Capital of Ebak was Lahore. Okay, but our Iltutamish shifted the capital from Lahore to Delhi. He shifted the capital to Delhi. Why did he shift the capital? So that he can protect his kingdom. Okay, because during Iltutamish time, there is a very dangerous ruler who is ruling in the Middle East, the Central Asia, and his name is Genghis Khan. Okay, so you must have heard stories or you must have gone through this name if you have been in a school, right? So Genghis Khan, one of the deadliest ruler of the history, right? So to protect his kingdom, he moved it from Lahore because Lahore was little exposed on the northwestern part of the India. So he moved it to Delhi. Okay, and that is the reason you can say, see, the name of this Sultanate is Delhi Sultanate, right? And you don't have your capital at Delhi, and you have it at Lahore, right? So Iltutamish is the first person who moved his capital from Lahore to Delhi, right? So this is one of the reason why he is known as the owner, as the real founder of Delhi Sultanate. Okay. So second reason. See, second reason is very interesting. Aibak, Aibak was not free. Just right here, not free from slavery. Okay, Aibak was not free from slavery, but Iltutamish was. But Iltutamish was. Okay, how come? So see, Aibak was never freed by Muhammad Ghori, and Muhammad Ghori died. Okay, and he was still a slave. Right, there has to be announcement done by someone, by the ruler, that he is no longer a slave. Right, and no such announcement was done, and Aibak was actually a slave till he died. Right, but Iltutamish, he was freed by Aibak. Okay, Aibak freed him from slavery, and he was made the Sultan eventually. Okay, so Iltutamish was free from slavery, and this is another reason why we can say that he is the real founder, and we don't call him the Aibak to be the real founder. He was a slave. At the time he was the Sultan, he was a slave, right? So a slave can't be a king. Basic funda is a slave can't be a king, right? So let's see the third point. Yes, third point is very interesting. Aibak never declared himself to be a sultan. You remember I told you when we were studying about Aibak, he never called himself the sultan, right? He always called himself to be the Malik, right? So when we were studying about the names and honors and titles of Aibak, we saw Malik and Sipe Salar, right? So he kept the title of Malik, which was given to him by Muhammad Ghori, and he never took the title of Sultan. Right? So a person is himself not calling himself to be a sultan. He himself not calling the ruler, the king. Right? So how could we say that he is the real founder? We can assume he is the founder, but our Iltutamish, he became the sultan. He took the title of sultan, right? And that's why we call Iltutamish to be the real founder. Okay. See what used to happen is let's discuss from third point here, because it's very important to understand about this point that Aibak did not took the title of sultan, but how did Iltutamish was able to accomplish such things? Okay, and our Khalifa thing is related here. See, if you want to be a ruler, you can be a ruler, right? You can be a king, you can be a sultan, but you need permission from the Khalifa. Who were Khalifa? Khalifas were the kings in the Middle East region, and these kings, they were the direct descendants of the prophets. Okay, they were the direct descendants, and they were the not only the political rulers, they were the religious leaders as well. And you need permission from them to become a independent sultan, right? And this permission that they used to take, this is known as khiliyat. Okay, this is known as khiliyat. Okay, so Qutbuddin Aibak was the Iltutamish was the first ruler who obtained khiliyat from Khalifa. Okay, he asked for the khiliyat, he obtained the khiliyat, and after he got the khiliyat, if you remember, I told you the two names Iltutamish was given by the Khalifa. One was your Nasir ul Momin, Nasir ul Momin, and Sultan e Said, and Sultan e Said. Okay, so khiliyat was provided to Iltutamish. Okay, and as he got the khiliyat, he became sultan. He declared himself to be sultan. Okay, so next point we will see the fourth point. Now see, Aibak never declared himself to be sultan, right? So when we are going to study about the Tughlaq dynasty, there you will see a king, a sultan by the name of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, and what Firoz Shah Tughlaq did is he used to read khutbah. Khutbah. What was khutbah? So khutbah is nothing but like there is a royal declaration done from the mosque or somewhere, and khutbah used to be read, wherein the sultan was praised. Okay, and in Firoz Shah Tughlaq's khutbah, he used to read the names of all the sultans from the start, and Aibak's name was not there. Aibak's name was not there. So all one-day examination students, write this point. Aibak is one of the two sultan who was not named in the khutbah of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, who was not named in the khutbah of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. This question is frequently asked in the examinations, especially PCS. Okay, so remember this point. And as you can see, Firoz Shah Tughlaq in his khutbah, his name is not present. He is not considered to be a sultan. That is the reason we can say that he is not a real founder, and that's why we call Iltutamish to be the real founder. Okay, Aibak's name is dropped out. Now, the fifth point and very important, the most important point why you will call Iltutamish to be the real founder. See, during Aibak's time, I told you there was no standing army, right? There was no standing army. There was no taxation system. There was no taxation system. There was there was basically no land revenue system, no land revenue system, right? No currency system. There was a currency system, but not that effective. Okay, so there was no currency system. So all these things are the fundamental things to establish a sultanate, to establish a kingdom, and all these were missing during the Aybak's time, right? But when Iltutamish came, he used all the resources, and gave Delhi, gave the Delhi Sultanate, he gave Delhi Sultanate a permanent, permanent status. Okay, he gave Delhi to be a permanent station. He made it stable. Okay, he made Delhi a stable state. Okay, remember this point. So let's see what are the different things done by Kutubuddin Aibak. Iltutamish. Iltutamish. Okay. So what are the changes that he did? Let's see it in very short. After that, we will see in depth also. Okay. So in short, if we say how he used the resources, how he developed the resources, and gave a stability to the Delhi Sultanate. So the first point and very important point is he established a standing army, and not only a standing army, but a stable army. Okay, established a not only a standing army but a stable army. Okay, so this is very important because if you want to protect your kingdom and if you want to have a stable kingdom, a stable sultanate, right? You need an army, right? You can't just rely on people. Let's there is a war and whoever wants to go to fight, let's go, right? You can't do that, right? So you need an army, a standing army who is dedicated for wars to protect your kingdom all the time, right? And this was done by Iltutamish. This was established by Iltutamish. Okay. The second very important point is the taxation system. Taxation system. Okay, so taxation system was brought in. Okay, and Iltutamish used to take different kind of taxes. There are many kind of taxes that will be established by Iltutamish. Okay, so there is an improvement that you are seeing. Now we are going from a havoc, a chaos, to a civilized sultanate, to a civilized society, right? So we are having a taxation system, and that's how the money started pouring into the sultanate. Okay. Third and very important point is he developed. There was a currency system, but he developed the currency system. Okay, we will see there are 2 points that will be introduced by Iltutamish. That is Tanka and Jutal. Okay, remember Tanka and Jital. So these are the 2 coins that will be introduced by Iltutamish, and that's how he developed the currency system. Now remember Tanka is a silver coin. This is a silver coin. Okay, and Jital is a bronze coin. Okay, so again this is important because this is asked in examinations, like who introduced the Tanka or who introduced the Jital coin. Okay, so remember this point. Iltutamish introduced the Tanka and the Jital coins. Okay. Now, fourth important point is the land revenue system. The land revenue system. Okay. So, in land revenue system, you will see that he did a wonderful job. He did a wonderful job. He introduced the Iqtadari system. Iqtadari system. And Iqtadari system was introduced by Iltutamish, and this is again a very important question that is asked in the examination. Okay, Iqtadari system. Remember, Iqta is nothing but you can consider it to be the division of a state into like districts, and this district is named as Iqta. Okay, For example, in Mughal Empire, when we will study of Mughal Empire, you will see a Mansabdari system was there. So it was called a Mansab, and here it is called a Ikta. Okay, so it's a geographical division of an empire. For example, this is the complete empire of, say, Iltutamish. He divided it into different districts, and these districts are known as the Iktas. Okay, these are known as different Iktas. Okay, so these are the basic points that you can remember. These are the developments that have been done by Iltutamish. Okay, these are various developments that have been done by Iltutamish. All right, now let's see about see, when Iltutamish came, sorry, when Aibak was there, I told you Aibak took care of two people, very important two people, Yalduz and Kabacha, right? But remember, Yalduz and Kabacha were related to Aibak, right? They were family members now of Aibak, right? And they did nothing. They did nothing. Just give me a minute. Okay, so Yalduz and Kabacha, one, Yalduz and Kabacha, they were related to Aibak, right? And as soon as Aibak died in 1210, now they again became a problem for Iltutamish. Okay. Now let's see what are the different problems, because there was not one problem. There was not one problem in front of Iltutamish. Iltutamish is a sultan who faced too many problems, and he will overcome all these problems, and he will establish a wonderful sultanate. Okay, chalo, let's see the problems in front of Iltutamish. Okay, Iltutamish. So the problems of Iltutamish, it can be divided into two sections here. One is the external problems, okay, the external problems, and one is the internal problems. Okay, what are the internal problems? Let's see the internal problems. Let's see the external problems first. There are two problems that you must be aware of, that you have to be aware about. So let's make it three. Yalduz is one of them, right? Yalduz. Second is, of course, Kabacha. And there is a third problem, that is the Mongols. Okay, third problem is the Mongols, and during his time, he is a contemporary ruler. Iltutamish is the contemporary ruler of Genghis Khan. When I'm saying Mongols, we have Genghis Khan. Okay, he's also known as, like you in English you say Genghis Khan and something like that, right? So he is a contemporary ruler. Okay, so we now saw three main external problems: Mongols, the Kavacha, and Yalduz. These are the three main problems, the external problems in front of Iltutamish that he has to deal. Okay. Now coming back to internal problem, the first very important internal problem is for Iltutamish is Aram Shah, right? Because Aram Shah has been made the Sultan in Lahore, right? And Iltutamish has been made Sultan here, right? So this is again a problem. This is again a problem. Okay, so he need to remove Aram Shah so that people will accept Iltutamish, because until unless Aram Shah is there, nobody is going to take Iltutamish very seriously, right? Now, internal problems after Aram Shah, after few years, you will say Samshi Samshi and Utvi. Okay, Samshi and Utvi. Give me a minute. Second is Qutbi. Okay. So Shamshi and Qutbi, they were the governors for Iltutamish. Okay. And they revolted. They revolted against Iltutamish and they were a big problem. Okay. So these two people, they are going to revolt against Iltutamish. We will see how he is going to deal all these problems. Okay. Third important problem in front of Iltutamish is the administration. Because there is no administrative system in front of Iltutamish. When Aibak was there, he did not implement any administrative system, and it was going on like, if you need the money, let's loot some area, right? So there was no administrative system, and because of all these external problems, he has to have a standing army. And for the standing army, he needs money, and there is no administrative system. There is no taxation system, so that he can have some money, right? So these are all the different problems. Okay, there is no administrative system, and one very important problem in front of him is the Turkish, because by the time of Iltutamish, there are a lot many Turkish people who have been inducted into the court. Okay, so Turkish Muslims. Okay, or you can say basically the Muslims, and he needed the support of the Muslims. Okay, so this was again a big problem for him, because Aram Shah being the son of Qutbuddin Aibak, he has got more support. He has better support from the Muslims, and Iltutamish need that support so that he can rule very easily, right? So these are the various issues that we will come across. Aram Shah, Samshi Qutbi, administrative systems. There is no administrative system. Sorry, no, and the Muslims. Okay, so these are various problems. In what we are going to do is we are going to keep it till here today. Okay, and in the next class tomorrow we will go through all these problems, and after that we will finish up what are the different points that we have to see regarding Iltutamish, how he managed to establish such a wonderful kingdom after Qutbuddin Aibak when he died within 4 years. Right? So there is a lot to read about Iltutamish, and it will take us one more class to complete Iltutamish. Okay? So stay tuned. Don't worry, I am going to complete it tomorrow. Okay? So stay tuned, and tomorrow we are going to discuss the external and the internal problems in details. Each and every problem we are going to discuss in details. And it is important because when we are going to discuss all these problems, we are going to cover the complete life of Iltutamish actually, and we will see all one-liner questions, one-word answer questions that are asked in various one-day examination. And at the same time, we are going to discuss the various points which can be asked to you in examination as an essay, or it can be asked as a long answer type question. Okay, so stay tuned. If you are new, if you are watching this, if you are here for the first time, like, share and subscribe. Okay, and our Telegram channel you can see here. Okay, I will write it down here. Telegram channel is Vardaan _Academy_GS. Okay, so you can join. This is a public channel on Telegram. You can join here, and I will provide you all the updates and PDFs I provide over here. Okay, do like us on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a good night. Keep studying. And if you have any suggestions, any points that you would like to add, do write it in the comment section or the live chat. Do write it in the comment section. I will try to implement it as soon as possible for you. If you have any suggestions, like any special topics, any special playlist that you want me to create, any special topic that you want me to cover in any specific language, of course Hindi or English. Okay, so any such a special request, do put it in the comment section. I will try to go through it and I will try to bring and resolve the issues as soon as possible. Okay, until then, take care of yourself. Have a good day. Have a good night. Okay, bye bye.